Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Bannon breaks silence. Look what he said, just sacrificed for President Trump. Former White House strategist Steve Bannon isn't going to go anywhere. Steve Bannon is going to defend President Trump till the end. It might be best for him to fight the enemies of America outside of the White House. He's going to be unleashed finally and can now help our president from a different position. He is going to be sacrificed so that the country can keep on getting great again. Bannon just put the following warning. If there's any confusion out there, let me clear it up. I'm leaving the White House and going to war for Trump against his opponents, on Capitol Hill, in the media, and in corporate America, Bannon said Friday. Rumors have been circulating that Steve Bannon was going to leave. On Friday, Bannon clarified those rumors by plotting to thermonuclear against globalists that are attacking Trump from the inside, according to Buzzfeed. Mad Drudge worked to remove Steve Bannon, that is the reality, said former Trump campaign advisor Sam Nunberg, who regularly talks with Bannon. And I hope Matt is happy because his work helped Bannon not be in the West Wing, but it helped Democrats and people that didn't vote for Trump be in the West Wing. Let's give a big thank you to Mr. Bannon. He served well against the swamp. He's going to be able to help Trump more from the outside. Share this if you are looking for Mr. Bannon's return to Breitbart. Let's show our support for all the hard work he did to get Trump elected. Remember what Bannon said at CPAC. Thanks for reading. Steve Bannon is out, see the crazy reason he was fired. Steve Bannon has been a controversial person in the White House, since the get-go. But, hey, so has Trump. In recent weeks, there's been reports that Trump thought Bannon was one of the leakers. Then earlier this week, Trump came out saying Bannon is a friend of his and a good guy. But he seemed to hedge, when he noted that Bannon came on very late in the campaign. Well, he's gone now. He just resigned as Trump's chief strategist. According to the New York Times, Mr. Bannon's future is still being discussed, though. Someone close to Bannon has said the departure was Bannon's idea, and that he had submitted his resignation on August 7. It was allegedly supposed to be announced earlier this week, but that was delayed because of the events in Charlottesville, Virginia. Timing is everything, though. The announcement of his resignation comes just 2 days after Bannon gave an interview challenging military action against North Korea as a viable option. Of course, President Trump as well as Tillerson and General Mattis would all say differently. Do you think it was time for Bannon to go? Comment your answer, then share so all your friends are in the know. H.T. The Hill. Kill shot. What Elizabeth Warren just announced has put the knife in the Democratic Party for good. The fact that the Dems still can't even come close to what Trump has done for the Republicans, in terms of fundraising, is evidence that the Dems lack any form of a leader. And to prove it even more, now there is infighting amid bigwigs in the party itself. Elizabeth Warren is leading the charge, withing the party that the progressives have taken control. She has offended the moderate Dems, by saying that the progressives are the heart and soul of the party now. Did you hear her encourage necessary trouble? And call the progressives Donald Trump's worst nightmare? And they say that Trump supporters are the cause of the violence? Come on. There is serious infighting within that party. Former Representative Ellen Tauscher, Democrat California, said recently, and it's certainly not going to help us win. Our party should be looking to expand the tent. If we divide ourselves, we're doing our opponents' jobs for them. Yes, they are. Trump has had the worst press of any president, ever. And yet, still, the Dems are divided, with no true leader in sight. That party is done, don't you think? If you do, comment yes or no. Then share so all your fellow patriots can smile. H.T. The Hill. Killshot liberals freaking out after what President Trump just said about terrorists and pig's blood. President Donald Trump has sent his condolences to the victims of the terrorist attack in Barcelona, Spain in a tweet. However, it was not this tweet that had everyone talking. The first one was the classic motivational support for our allies. The story that President Trump tweeted about is not new to those that have followed him since the very beginning. The liberals are extremely triggered by this right now, stating that this story is fake and that it promotes mass murder of Muslims. Even though it's a story about becoming tough and destroying the enemy, the story seems to have been written for the first time in 1927 Chicago Daily Tribune article that described Pershing sprinkling some Muslim prisoners with pig's blood, which the Duramentado believed would condemn their souls. We also found this article where it tells the story in detail, written by librarian Walt Sinnert for the McCook Gazette in 2014. You can read it here. Whether the story is true or a tall tale, it's still a good story about being tough and using the enemy's weakness to your advantage in war. Let us know what you think and share this report 10,000 times if you think that President Trump is correct in telling this story. Trump strikes back last night. Trump just kept his biggest promise about China. Despite what the media tries to spin it as, President Donald Trump absolutely is a promise keeper. People may not understand his methods, but he delivers results, and China just learned that the hard way. Just last week, Trump asked United States Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer to look into China and see if we need an investigation into their predatory trade practices. Well, guess what? President Trump is launching a full-scale investigation into Chinese trade and patent practices. Lighthizer said in a statement. After consulting with stakeholders and other government agencies, I have determined that these critical issues merit a thorough investigation. This means Trump just took another key action that all presidents before him had been too lazy, ignorant, or corrupt to do. He is also sending a very clear message to China after they refuse to back Trump on North Korea. The investigation will focus on Chinese theft of U.S. patents, music, tech, films, etc. that China often achieves through bad trade practices thanks to the World Trade Organization. At this point, the president has made it abundantly clear that he does believe in world trade, but only if it's done right and the U.S. can come out ahead from it. Do you like the way Trump is handling foreign affairs? If so, share this everywhere and let Trump see the people actually do stand by their president. It happened. Julian Assange just gave top Republican info to end Russia investigation forever. The media has been hounding Trump 24 hours a day ever since he condemned the violence of both the alt-left and alt-right on Tuesday. It's no wonder they missed the secret meeting WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange just had with Republican Congressman Dana Rohrabacher. According to the congressman from California, Assange's info is bigger than anyone ever could have expected. He wants to trade immunity in return for leaked documents that prove he is not a Russian spy. The left has been trying day and night to prove that President Trump is tied to the email leak despite still having no evidence to back their claims. Assange alleges he wants to change all that in a one-on-one meeting with Donald Trump. However, immunity and the meeting with the U.S. president were not Assange's only requests. He also asked Congressman Rohrabacher to help secure WikiLeaks a seat at the White House press briefings. At the same time, this proof is supposed to be earth-shattering. Rohrabacher said in an interview with Daily Caller right before the historic meeting. He has information that will be of dramatic importance to the United States and the people of our country as well as to our government. Thus, if he comes up with that, you know he's going to expect something in return. He can't even leave the embassy to get out to Washington to talk to anybody if he doesn't have a pardon. Now we just have to sit back and see what it is. Luckily, Liberty writers will let you know the second we do. Still, we got to share this out to everyone since this kind of info should not be swept under the MSM rug. Bannon just said Trump was over, but what he said next had Trump grinning ear to ear. Chief strategist Steve Bannon left the White House on Friday amid a whirl of controversy. Bannon gave a groundbreaking interview with the Weekly Standard outlining his motivation for leaving, his next plans, and how he feels about the Trump presidency. Bannon made clear that he resigned voluntarily, saying he only planned on spending 1 year because he wanted to get back to Breitbart. But then things got really interesting. Bannon claimed that Trump's era of disruptive politics might soon be toned down now that he's out, saying, "The Trump presidency that we fought for, and won, is over. We still have a huge movement, and we will make something of this Trump presidency. But that presidency is over. It'll be something else. And there'll be all kinds of fights, and there'll be good days and bad days, but that presidency is over." Bannon also said that he fears establishment Republicans will have made it almost impossible for the president to meet his promises. It's the Republican establishment. The Republican establishment has no interest in Trump's success on this. They're not populists, they're not nationalists, they had no interest in his program. Zero. It was a half-hearted attempt at Obamacare reform, it was no interest really on the infrastructure. They'll do a very standard Republican version of taxes. He continued. What Trump ran on, border wall, where is the funding for the border wall, one of his central tenets, where have they been? Have they rallied around the Purdue-Cotton immigration bill? On what element of Trump's program, besides tax cuts, which is going to be the standard marginal tax cut, where have they rallied to Trump's cause? They haven't. This is a huge problem for the president, who, with a Republican-controlled House and Senate, has seen key pieces of legislation stalled due to infighting. Bannon, for his part, will continue fighting on the president's behalf, and is eager to get back into the ring. "I feel jacked up. Now I'm free. I've got my hands back on my weapons." Someone said, "It's Bannon the Barbarian. I am definitely going to crush the opposition. There's no doubt. I built a effing machine at Breitbart. And now I'm about to go back, knowing what I know, and we're about to rev that machine up. And rev it up we will do." Trump just released his ultimate weapon. Bannon is going to go back and chip influence away from the Renos and the Democrats now that he's back at Breitbart. In fact, it's what they agreed on all along, as Bannon said. "I said, look, I'll focus on going after the establishment." Trump said, "Good, I need that." I said, "Look, I'll always be here covering for you." The swamp won't be drained in a day, but with Trump on the inside, and Bannon on the outside, it will get done. Share if you agree. HT Weekly Standard.